Okay, so, hello. Uh, this is the video game I want made. I'm looking for bids to see how much this would actually cost to do. I want to see how much it will cost and how much work the game will entail. Pretty simple. And how much work it will entail for all the coaches suite and ladder and matchmaker I'm going to describe. So, my original idea was to have this game programmed grassroots style in C++ and add to the project as my budget would allow. This video is available on my YouTube channel, Rex Overwatch, request for bid PvP game. Bids were too high, and Unity and Godot was suggested. The Someone said it would take about 10 months to program that game that I described. So we'll try with Unity, but adding all the menus and ladder and stuff that I want. And I want to publish on Steam for virus protection. This was suggested also. Steam for other reasons. Steam's fine, right? The game, it's PC game, right? You can do Linux or Mac or I don't mobile or Xbox or whatever. But yes, this is a PC game only. That would be fine. So I don't care about the game. I'm doing this project to show the correct way to run team-based PvP online games for Coach's Suite, and to show this you need a game. Two ways to balance. Alright, so let me go through these slides and then I'll start talking about like the actual game. So this is what the landing page looks like or whatever. And I'll draw up all the menus or the I know there's free resources online. Like I really don't care what it looks like. Just nice, neat menus and everything. I can draw them all up, but I think there's free assets, right? It's for just menus and text. We got the revenue model, and talk about that later. And here's a screen for population trends, so you can queue up intelligently. And don't worry about this so much. Like I'll describe like only the game and then like only the ladder. But you got to draw it all up. This was like a lot of work. The more I got into it, so I'm just doing a rough draft. You got to draw up what the menu looks like. So here really the game I want is Overwatch with the ladder and with the matchmaker and the coaches suite that I'm about to describe. But since it'll be a lot of work to kind of make a Paladins or an Overwatch, I came up with this much more simple game. And this is the game right here, right? It's the same as the spawn room, right? I'll get into this later, but we'll just go through these slides really quick. Um, so you put your points in here for to power up your laser, and you put them in here to power up your melee circle. And the laser or the melee circle can either do damage or heal, or it can speed up your friends or slow your enemies, or it can like amplify what the laser is doing, or de-amplify for the enemies, right? So if I point a help beam at my DPS guy who has beam, right, it changes how much it does. I get into all this later. Just going through this really quick. And also, there would be a special character for a sniper, just your run-of-the-mill sniper, and a shield man. It's basically just like a floating shield, kinda. It well, yeah, floating shield. And then you can also whatever you choose in here, you can choose to have it a flying character or an invisibility hero. And the way this works is that it changes the HP. This is the automatic balancing mechanic that I'm talking about. So, and this is what I want the game to look like right here, right? So, you got a health bar, right? And you got your speed bar, and you got your help and hurt bar, your buff and nerf bar. So this guy can be like a cylinder, right? I understand that this is not that difficult the game's not that difficult to program up, but if this is too much work right here to make it look like that, I would be fine with like just the cylinder. I don't want player models or no textures, nothing really, just the game. I started getting to the rules here, but it's more in the Google Docs. All right, so here's the maps. We're only going to do the 5 node capture and the capture the flag. If maps aren't too complicated, I would want a minecart, like a payload map. It would work a little differently than Overwatch's payload, but there'd be like 3 that you could move. But just the 2 for now would be fine. And this is kind of important. This is what the screen looks like while you're in queue, and it shows everyone else who's queuing up too, so you can like manage your avoid as teammate slots intelligently. That's the big thing about this. The ladder is 100% transparent, and so is the matchmaker. So, and this is what the ladder would look like. This is all. This is 10,311 spot. It Mike's there. And the ladder would be all down. Now again, I will lay out exactly how I want everything to look, but I need to see how much this is going to cost, how much time it's going to take. This would be like a big Excel sheet, kinda. Okay, so this is your player profile. Now, this part is kind of important. Um, you can thumbs up, thumbs down people. You can say that they're aimbots if you think they are, and you can take a note on them, and you can avoid them. And all profiles are public, right? And when you look at someone's profile, it will tell you 1,001 people have given this guy a thumbs up, and he has thumbs up 1,292. And you can click on this, and you can see the people that he has thumbs up. Like it's just like this giant Excel spreadsheet. That is like the big thing about this project that I'm kind of excited for. So you can take like notes on them and a private note, right? And these would have to be like the public note. It would have to be like blockable and stuff like that. That's why I'm only doing this rough draft, because to explicitly spell out everything involved in what I'm talking about, it's quite a lot of work, and I wonder how much work it would take, to actually code it all up, not let alone writing it all down. So, and then we would have a tab screen that showed all the all the heroes, or all the characters and their attributes that they've allocated into their point pools and all this stuff. Um, and I have this aimbot police idea. Like you kind of need a replay, and if you only want to save one, that's fine. But I don't know how much work that would entail to make a replay system, but it's like kind of important for the project. You don't need to save 10 replays. You just need to save one, so at least you can rewatch a match if you think something's suspicious. So, okay, now I'll go to the Google Doc. Okay. Okay, so now I will get into. See, I explicitly spelled all this stuff out, but I'm just scrolling down here so you can kind of see what's ahead. Okay, this someone wrote this up for me. It was the way to sort the teams, but I still haven't like totally figured it out yet. Okay, so here's the part of the video where I start giving you the concept of the game. Okay, so the game is 15 versus 15 on 2 different maps, 5 node and CTF. I really want a minecart map also, but we can keep it just to 2 maps to reduce the work. It's a first-person shooter, not a third-person shooter. Uh, so like to kind of the game, I'll just keep going. Left click is to fire the laser, and right click is to toggle it on and off. When you shoot your laser, everyone can see it. You can hold down left click for as long as you want. No ammo, no reloads. I want a simple sound for the laser, and maybe a different one for when it connects. There may be a splash animation when you hit an enemy, or maybe the enemy color changes when you hit them. I don't really care. I just want audio and visual feedback. So we have 4 different states here. We have the laser when it's shooting and hitting no one, and the laser when it's shooting and hitting someone, and a visual and audio for each of those. So that's 4 different components into the laser. And same with the melee, it would register audio and visual feedback if someone steps in your 5 meter circle. So you're basically shooting a laser from the center of your head, a reticle. But I may want a gun model drawn in just to give you the sense of shooting. No reload animation. So like the game is you're just shooting this laser from your reticle, but to kind of fool people into thinking they're shooting something, you can just like stick a little gun there. You don't even have to do that. Like I said, I really don't know how much work this will entail, but keep going here. The characters you're allowed to play have points you can allocate into various spots in the spawn room. Alright, so I'll go through these really quick and I'll kind of explain how the heroes work. And the characters you are allowed to play have the points you allocate into various slots, offering full customization. You're allowed to adjust these numbers anytime you're in the spawn room. So, like when you die and stuff. Um, and the lasers do different things depending on where you allocate the points. DPS, heals per second, speed slow, and buff and nerf, right? And the characters also have a 5 meter melee circle if you want to spend points there. No need to hit a button, it's just 5 meter AoE for whichever you select here. There are also two special characters that have nothing to do with the point selection system. So you can all change all these points up or whatever, or you can just select a sniper or just a shield man. And the sniper, let me go into this show hero selection screen and maps. Alright, so like this is how the game actually works. um, where is it? Spawn room. Okay, so um, it's 15 versus 15, and like they're all cylinders, right? And they all shoot lasers out from their heads, and you can see it's 15 versus 15, so there's 29 people on the field who aren't you. When they're shooting their lasers, you can see them. You can see the lasers being shot. It's just like a beam, right, radiating from the cylinder, the player model. And it depends on how that person has spent these points that determines what the laser does. So let me go here really quick. Um, here's all the rules, like extremely detailed. Like yes, I have to like spell this out exactly how much hit points these things do, and all this stuff. And it was just going to be way too much work. So I'm just going to do a conceptual video and see if I can get an estimate of how long this would take, how much money it would cost. So go back to spawn room. Um, okay, so you can spend these points, and if you have 12 points to spend, meaning that you can put one in each, right? That would be, obvious, or you can put all 12 in one, right? So, and if you put, and these would each be worth like 10 extra hit points, right? So, 6 points in here. For an example, 6 points in the laser on DPS and 6 points in the melee on DPS would give you, let's say, 100 hit point laser and 100 hit point melee circle, right? Or you don't have to have a melee circle. You can put it all in laser, or you don't have to have a laser. You excuse me. You can put it all in a melee circle, right? So I hope this is clear. It's clear to me, right? Just trying to get other people to understand it. But you can also select that I want my character to fly, or I want my character to be able to turn invisible or not. And the automatic balancing mechanic will it will record the best game, the highest ranked game over the past 24 hours or over the past week. It doesn't really matter. And it will see which heroes are the winningest. Which of these points, if DPS is too powerful, what it is then going to do is work backwards and change the HP. So if I put 12 points in DPS laser, it may have a different amount of hit points than if I put them all in HPS, right? And here you press for max HP. There would be a type of character that was so losing that he would have the most HP. It's kind of difficult to describe, but I hope you understand what I'm saying about this going on here, and ask any questions if you need. So, and there's also two special heroes, and that is the sniper and the shield man. And the sniper, is just like a sniper, just like Widow in Overwatch. And the shield man is just like a shield that floats along the ground, or you can choose to make it to fly or invisible. And the flying and the invisible will adjust the HP also. So this is like the heroes. To sum it up, the hero is just a cylinder, and it just shoots a laser out. And you can change the laser in the middle of the match, right? And the way that it balances itself is it adjusts the hit points of what you've selected here. It's kind of, you know, uh, I got it all in my head, right? But I hope I'm conveying this message. I hope you understand the general gist of how the hero selection works. So let's continue on. Um, okay, now on to the. And I have some notes. I have some notes on how the maps work. I can tell you how the maps work, and I can tell you all this, but I would have to explicitly spell it out. But if they're generally simple, simple rules for the maps, I would think you would know how much work it would entail. And this is why, see, this is why I want to do it in C++, because the balancing mechanic and the ladder and the coaches suite, I'm not, I don't even know if it's able to be done in Unity, but I'll put this up and see what people have to say. So how much would all this cost me? Okay, so as far as the game that I just described, how much would that cost me? No matchmaker, no nothing, right? Very simple game. Even one map in this instance, right? Just one map, 30v30. Someone said it was very cheap. I wonder how much work it's adding to change the heroes, like I showed. But let's keep going. Now we continue on with the project. I've seen that Unity came out with a matchmaker. Okay, so I saw Unity came out with a matchmaker, right? Now we can piggyback off the matchmaker so long as I get to do what I want inside the client with the matchmaker. Same thing goes for friends list. This person said that can we use the Steam friends list, right? Yeah, that's fine, as long as we can get that information into the client and it piggybacks off of it. That's fine. Um, so the ladder and the matchmaker. The game has a competitive ladder that is server specific. This is kind of important. So you are ranking up on the LA server or you're ranking up on the New York server, right? Does Unity let you do this? I doubt it, but can we take the information and put it in our own database and feed it back into the game? You know, um, the game has a full team, 15 stack. So there's grouping, and you enter the queue as a group, right? And all the statistics, right? Like on the tab screen, I didn't show a scoreboard. I don't. Maybe that was a scoreboard, but you know, all the statistics are kept. You know, how many games you played, how much damage you did, and it's just I was president write this. It's just a giant Excel sheet. But how much work would that entail to gather all that information, put it in a database, and have it and letting people read this? Just like a giant Excel sheet. So the game has a coach's suite, so you're allowed to avoid players and everything. Um, you know, and I showed you about the what was this here? Like this would be the population trends over the past week and over the past day, right? Like this would have to be available too, hopefully. So, let's see here. All right, so the set and forget it. I already kind of went over this, but it takes the highest ranked match of the past 24 hours, and it if DPS is deemed too strong, then it will reduce the hit points as it resets the balance for the next day, right? Or say like the heals. If you put all your all your points into healing, you put like 12 points into healing. Um, mm, yeah, you put 12 points into healing, and it's just like kind of too powerful, right? The guy's winning it. I would have to spell it all out, but uh, then you're penalized hit points for selecting points in healing, right? So it kind of needs a replay system. It doesn't need to save 10. It hopefully you can just save one. And it can save it on your own desktop too if you want. This is not a problem, if you know. But hopefully a keybind menu, right? It's kind of funny. Like all games have keybind menus, but we can just set our own keybinds and not let them change it. That would be fine. I don't know how much work this all is. We want a mini map. Okay, so down to the revenue model. The way the game has a built-in revenue model along with free-to-play mode. The free-to-play mode is littered with commercials, and if you pay money, you can get rid of the commercials, right? Like YouTube and shit. Some things are up for discussion, and suggestions are appreciated, and you're allowed to steal my idea if you want. I just want to play this game, right? So here's where I got into the exact numbers, and like I can spell this all out and exactly how it works, but it was going to be a lot of work, and I hope I've conveyed what the game I want, so that I can get I can get some feedback on how long this would take, how much money this would cost, and let's go into the revenue model a little bit. Like I said, you can steal my idea if you want, but the way the revenue model works is okay. So Chaos and Ladder, they're the exact same game, the same two maps, right? And see right here, 2 wins equals 25 cents, and it costs 25 cents to play on the ladder. So this is the free to play. When you join free to play, you're going to watch some commercials, and that's another thing that why I'm really not trying to learn to code this myself and everything is because I don't know what goes into. Yeah, maybe I can make a stupid little game on Unity, but it, you know, you have to tie in the Amazon affiliate, right? The so like to do all this stuff, like I am not computer literate in that sense. I might be able to make some janky game in Unity if I put my mind to it, but this is the stuff where I'm trying to outsource it, so to speak. But anyway, back to the point here is when you enter the game, 2 wins will get you 25 cents, and there's see yeah pings. Oh yeah, I want a ping system, right? So anyway, but if you can see the lasers, you don't need the pings. But anyway, um, the pings and the mini maps and everything, but no voice. Oh yeah, I want voice. But no checks. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is that chaos is just basically the game itself. No fancy schmancy stuff or nothing like this, right? And 2 wins will get you 25 cents. You can take that 25 cents over to the ladder and you can play a game of the ladder. Or you can just purchase these outright. And um and the ladder is where the coach's suite resides and all these cool tools, to navigate the ladder. Um and the way it would in the revenue model, the way it would work is that there's lots of ads in chaos, but like none in ladder. And you know here it's 25 cents to play a game, but you have to pay 26 cents to get a token, right? I Like I said, same thing goes with same thing goes with this. Like, it, it was taking a really, really long time to like spell out exactly how the game actually worked. But um, I would want to say it's very anyone who plays video games is kind of familiar with this type of stuff, right? But I can do it. I can spell it all out exactly how it needs to be, and the same with the revenue model, exactly how it needs to be. So, in closing, I hope I've conveyed to you the scope of the project and what I'm looking for, and I wonder how much this would cost or how long it would take, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Bye.